Something has got to happen because we can no longer go down the path that we're going down. This country won't last another 6 months. This country won't last another 12 months if something doesn't happen. So it's time to flip the switch. It's time to get involved. It's time to move the line forward. And if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So I don't care what flip the switch is. I don't care if that means that all of this nonsense is nonsense, or if some of it's true. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Warriors, World Patriots, my fellow Americans. My name is Mike. I'm the host of Liberty Warrior. Give me liberty or give me death. When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. Buckle up, folks. Put your helmets on, strap in. Got a lot to talk about tonight, and we are putting out a warning tonight. I've seen a lot of things in the last couple of weeks. We've been talking about it, but tonight, it's your official warning. Tonight's show is brought to you by Miles Franklin, Andy and his team. Let me tell you, silver, last I checked, was still under $23 an ounce. Now may be a great time to purchase. And I'm not trying to spread fear. I'm trying to spread information that you guys really need to pay attention to, look at, and be prepared. And having just a little bit of silver on hand would not be a foolish decision at all. So you can check that out at info@milesfranklin.com. You can use promo code Liberty Warrior Nation. Yes, that does help this channel out as well. But more importantly, help yourself, help your family out by securing just a little bit to make sure that you guys, with what we're going to show you tonight, stuff that's happening, that you can take care of you and your family in case you need silver to trade. I know a lot of people say, well, Mike, I don't need silver. Well, if you need seeds for the garden and you got silver, you can trade for it. If you need bread because there's none on the shelf, you can trade for it. Same with seeds, same with bread. If you guys can provide those necessities to somebody who has silver on hand and can't find that stuff, you can trade. It's going to be a barter system here very soon. I'm giving you guys that warning. Let's bring in my co-host, Tammy, the Hammer Nation. How are you
Hi,
tonight,
everybody.
Tammy?
I'm good. I'm excited about the show, Mike. There's a lot of stuff out there that I think people need to just pay attention to and be aware of, and on a different aspect than we normally do, not just politics this time around.
No, this one here, it's really been brewing for quite a while. Just so you guys know, I follow Economic Ninja. You guys can go over to his YouTube channel, Economic Ninja, subscribe to him. He puts out a lot of great information. He's also good friends with Andy at Miles Franklin, as far as I remember Andy telling me that. Andy puts out a lot of good information. We're going to have him on here real soon to talk about what's going on with the economy, with what's going on with bonds. Um, you know, Economic Ninja put something out today showing and showing a video on how this stuff is affecting the economy. It's coming. It's coming. I got a
Mhm.
video that you sent me, Tammy, that I want to show everybody, and I want to show them the ripple effect of what's about to happen here in America. And there's nothing that can be done to stop this. I asked this morning, I asked Jeff B. I said, what can they do, Jeff? They can't just go and print more money. They can't. They can't put out another bill for $2 or $3 trillion, a stimulus package, and send everybody $1,600 and hope that that's going to cure the problem. There's nothing that the federal government, in my opinion, can do at this moment in time in history to stop this shift that's about to happen.
Oh yeah, it's coming. We had the little trickles early on back a few months, Mike. We were talking about the different barges that weren't moving and being offloaded. Then we talked about the truckers. Remember, the truckers did these different drive arounds and stuff like that. Now the fuel prices have gone through the roof, and it just is. It's like it's sprinkled, 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 and now here's the chain reaction and the consequences to all that's been going on for the last 6 months, probably.
It's really happening. And Tammy, I've been telling people when they started putting out warnings, it was all over the news. I reported it on headline hits several times about a world food crisis. When
Hmm.
that started off, when everything started happening for the world food crises, there were many countries that I was putting out there. I was telling you guys, listen, these guys have stopped exporting their food, their surplus, right? What does export mean? If you don't know what export means, that means actually sending it out and selling it around the world to other countries, countries like us, countries like China,
Hmm.
countries like Australia, any country out there that buys export from other countries. So you got a country who is the leading wheat supplier of the world. Well, any of their excess, they ship that out, they sell that. Um, Crude oil, you name it. There's so many things that are exported. Well, I reported on this over a month ago that there were countries out there that were they stopped exporting.
Hmm.
They are actually keeping all that excess food right there in their country. What does that mean? I'm trying to tell people, I'm trying to warn them, listen, when these countries are not selling exports, when China is no longer sending ships out right now, there's a report
Right.
out that China's cargo ships are just kind of circling off the shore of China there. That's warning signs. That's things of things that are about to happen, things to come. I'm pleading with people to pay attention to this. Share this video out. Make sure that you guys can take care of you and your family, because what I'm going to show you tonight in this video is just the start. It's just the start of many things that are going to happen here in Idaho. Fuel is now over $5 a gallon. A buddy of mine just posted a pic of their little hometown, which is an hour north of me and Salmon River. Their gas station just hit $6 a gallon for diesel there. Now, my friend owns and operates one logging trucks. Okay, so
Hmm.
he's a logger. He has logging trucks. Logging trucks take diesel fuel. He also has two or three jet boats that he runs up the Snake and the Salmon River here for fishing guides and for trips. Well, those boats are also diesel ran as well. So that's going to impact his business really, really bad. You know,
Absolutely. It's going to affect
it,
not just the drivers, Mike. It's going to affect the people that do have boats, that whether they people take tours or fishing tours and stuff. So it is a chain reaction. Those tentacles reach out far and wide, more just than the food supply. It's people just trying to, have enjoyment in life and getting away from the chaos for a little while, not being able to afford to charter a fishing boat or just have a family vacation this summer. I mean, it's crazy because they'll end up shutting down as well if fuel gets much higher. They can't
well,
afford it. People.
there's RV parks around Yellowstone right now that are overwhelmed with everybody who started their summer vacations. And now, with the heavy flooding in Yellowstone, the park shut down. They're not letting anybody in. So there's an overflow of all these people that are already out on their summer vacations with their kids or whatever, that they don't have anywhere to go. And so there's RV parks scrambling right now, trying to find places for these people to stay. And of course, when the demand goes up, Tammy, the price goes up as well. So now you're looking at price gouging. RV parks paying charging double what they would normally charge because here's all these helpless people with nowhere to go. And hey, you know what? I can double my money here. I can take advantage of these people. And I think there's unfortunately a lot of people out there in the world that do that. They see a crisis and they try to get rich off that crisis. And it's I'm telling you, it's common, and I think people really need to buckle down, watch their spending, make sure that they have plenty of food, plenty of water, because with the fuel prices alone, that's not the only thing that's continuing to increase, rise, and then we're going to start seeing things not on the shelf any longer. And I'm proud to report that the last time I was down in the valley, that when I went through the stores, there was still plenty on the shelf. My
Hmm.
little hometown here, not so much. It's the rural areas uh, that seem to be, in my opinion, affected right now. The rural areas, it's harder to get supplies to the rural areas. And with the cost of the diesel and the gas going up, it's obviously going to affect rural areas where, when you got distribution centers closer to the big cities, they're going to get to them first. It's going to be a little bit cheaper to get to them.
Hmm.
So, rural areas, I would encourage you guys, country folks will survive. It's time to put that song to use. It's coming.
Well, for a while there, remember people were saying I've had it with, stocked up with the water and the toilet paper and the rice and all that. They said, I've been doing this on and off for a year. The thing is, here we are, a year later, and it's happening more and more frequently as far as not just stuff not being on the shelves, the hike in the prices for groceries is amazing. I would normally, let's say I'd go grocery shopping and I'd spend like $200. I just went the other day and it was 360 some dollars. And I thought, my God, the only meat I got was actually chicken and turkey. I was thankful to find the chicken, but the chicken was like $7 more than it normally was. And the turkey was like 450 more or something. But I couldn't believe, like, my cart was not full. It was like one side was high, but there was a big gap in the other side, and the top wasn't full of the fruit and stuff I normally get. And I actually had sticker shock. I couldn't believe it. It's been a while since I bulk shopped like that. I've just been picking up things here and there. But one thing you can do, I guess, is wait until things go on sale. Some places have sales on that, and you just try to get there and save money that way, and hope they still have it in stock when you go into the store. But I couldn't believe it. I was so disappointed, and I will will say that a lot of the paper products and stuff were way down again. I don't know if it was the delivery, and that's the beginning of that as well. But also, for some reason, the meats again. The meats, there wasn't a huge variety of meats still. I've been encountering that for like probably 4 or 5 months now, easy, where it's hit or miss on what kind of meat you have a choice to choose from. There's not all the brands available that there normally were. You usually get one or two brands and that's it. And you don't get a full selection. Like with chicken, you're lucky to find chicken breasts, but they usually have the wings and the legs, and that's about it. And they're sky high. And forget the organic. The organic now is like ridiculous. So and
Yeah.
usually there's a couple packages left.
Yeah, I see a lot of good comments in chat about people who are prepped up and trying to maintain. I see you, Wanda, there. That's awesome. For those of you who have been prepping, just try to keep your head above water,
Hmm.
maintain. Mom used to be a coupon shopper back in the '80s, and it may be time to really start looking at ways that you can cut your cost. Ways that you guys can save money on your groceries and couponing. I'm not above couponing. I tried it there for a while and I sucked at it so bad. I started getting frustrated, to be honest with you, because I used to watch Extreme Couponing and I
Oh
loved that
yeah.
show. I loved that
Yeah,
show.
me too.
And so
I did too.
and so I went out and I tried to be an extreme coupon shopper and I absolutely sucked at it. I'm sitting there looking at the stuff on those coupons. I'm like, but I don't like that stuff and I don't need that stuff. Why would I go out and buy a bunch of toothpaste? I don't need a bunch of toothpaste. So listen to this, folks. Here is something that you might take for a little bit of advice from extreme couponing. Yeah, maybe you don't need all that toothpaste, but what you could do is stock up on all that toothpaste and maybe you can use it. Maybe you can trade it for something you
Hmm.
do need. I know a lot of those extreme couponers put that advice out. They said, we understand we don't need all this deodorant, but we have it and we can trade it to people who need it for eggs or for something else. So, I think alternative currencies are going to be a big deal. I think cigarettes are going to be a currency. I think alcohol will be a currency. I think seeds for the garden will be a currency. I think eggs, fresh meat. I think clothing. There's all kinds of toiletries, and we'll talk about female products here in a minute, Tammy. I think there's all kinds of things. If you can be an extreme couponer and you can stock up on that stuff, it's going to be currency. But I would like to
Yeah.
start off tonight with the ripple effect, and I'd like to show this video that you sent me, Tammy, and
Okay.
show people where we're headed. So here we go.
Average for diesel right now is
That
78 a gallon. Let's bring in the owner of Iron River Express. That is Austin Smith. Austin, I understand you have to spend what, 20,000 watts a week to fuel just 3 of your trucks. That's a lot of money. I have to assume that a lot of trucking companies, smaller ones especially, are going under. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's very true, and it's sad because so many folks are going under left and right because we can't afford to stay in business. This crisis that we're facing in the country is by far worse than anything I've ever seen in my life.
What's your prediction if diesel prices either stay where they are at over $5 a gallon or go even higher to 6, 7, and 8? What happens to our economy?
Well, this is just my humble opinion, but I foresee that we're going to have empty shelves. There's going to be larger companies out there that can stay in business that they have the funding or they've prepared for this, but all of these small trucking companies, which is a good portion of what moves freight across the country, is independent owners. They're going to go under, and if we go under and we can't afford to move freight, you're going to see a lot of empty shelves. You're going to see, this is again just my opinion, but
sure,
I think we're going to see a lot of panic, a lot of chaos, because people aren't going to be able to get the basic necessities.
Can we go back to your business? You got to spend $20,000 in a week just to fill up 3 trucks. That's an enormous amount of money. Do you pass that?
It is.
Do you pass that price increase on to your customers?
We don't set any prices for the products that we move. My business strictly is in the agricultural industry, so we move agricultural products. So we have, we don't set prices for that whatsoever. And unfortunately, we kind of walk a fine line here. If we increase our prices for transportation to the farmer, or the dairyman, or whoever it is that we're hauling for, there's a potential we could put them out of business. And if we put them out of business, then we're just hurting the economy even further.
Well, how much longer can you stay in business with diesel at $5.78 a gallon?
I've tried to do some predictions on where I would have to shut my doors. If we get up in the mid sixes, or between 6.50 and 7 a gallon, unfortunately, I'll probably have to close the doors. I wouldn't be able to afford to keep my trucks moving at that point.
That's bad news. I live in the northeastern part of the United States, and we're paying well over $6 a gallon for diesel where I am. I hope it doesn't work out that way for you, Austin, because we'd love to see you stay in business, but we feel, dare I say it, we feel your pain. Thanks very much for being on the show today, Austin. We do appreciate it. See you later.
All right. So, folks, I'm no expert on all this stuff, but I feel like God's blessed me with common sense. And you heard it from an independent owner there who has 3 semi trucks. He's hauling dairy products. It could be milk to a yogurt factory or cheese factory. It could be a number of things, grain, agricultural things. I had 3 trucks in North Dakota. I was explaining to Tammy in the oil field for one truck, and these are just short distances. So my drivers were only driving round trip anywhere from 5 to 10 miles round trip, and they do 10 trips a day. It's 100 miles a day, 150 miles a day. And they were doing it 7 days a week. It was roughly costing me, when fuel was around $2.35, it was roughly costing me about $1,000 to $1,200 every 2 weeks. So $2,000 a month per truck. I had 3 trucks, around $3,000 a month in fuel cost for me and the oil patch. So some of these guys are driving much further than 100 miles a day or 200 miles a day. A lot of them could be driving, long haul across the country. Well, those fuel prices, and the cost of fuel across country, every state's different. Some states are a lot more expensive than other states. So this is a warning to me, folks. This is a warning to you guys. You heard what he said. When operators are no longer going to be able to afford the cost of fuel to operate, what does that mean for your local grocery store? What does that mean for Walmart and all the super centers? They can only sustain for so long. Plus, we have a DEF fluid issue going on in this country as well. So what is DEF fluid? That is the other product that they have to put in their diesel rigs, and even personal trucks require nowadays DEF fluid unless you have an older one. And so they're having a shortage on DEF fluid as well. So what does that mean? And I've said this before to Americans. Well, priority for DEF fluid is actually probably the government, I would guess, would step in and say that the DEF fluid would go to the supply chain, which means public transportation, people who have their own vehicles that require DEF fluid would be left out to keep the supply chain going. So now if your only means of transportation is a diesel vehicle, diesel truck, you may be SOL at that point. So this all has ripple effects in every area and every aspect of our life. And that's why tonight it's a warning for you guys. It's a must see. It's a share this out. It's a tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, be prepared, because this current administration is not doing a damn thing to make this better. In my opinion, All it's going to take, Tammy, is one more move from this administration
Mm-hmm.
in the wrong direction, and the shift is happening. The reset is happening. For those people in real estate right now, they already started, the bubbles already started to bust in the real estate. Last month, sales were down. I'm telling you right now, sustainability in the real estate market, it's not there. It's going to shatter. I see people selling everything online right now. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
1994 Toyota pickup on Facebook today. It had 264,000 miles. They want $6,000 for that. So
Wow.
everything is inflated. Everybody is selling anything they can that's not nailed down to try to make money while they can, because they know this shift is coming. So Tammy, it's a rough look and see right now.
Well, once again, pay attention to the numbers. He said it was $20,000 to run 3 trucks for a week. That's insanity to me. And once again, this is another attack on the smaller business people. Enough businesses went down last go around with the sickness and stuff. We went through that. Now here's the attack on them again with these higher gas prices. It isn't affecting, you heard him say, it's not going to affect the bigger industries. They have enough funding to back themselves and hold out for a while, which means they're going to monopolize the whole system again, the big corporations. It's the little guys, the people who, individuals that bring it to these cities and stuff that are going to suffer. And then therein, all the cities suffer. So because these big corporations, there is no way. How are they going to get these truckers into these places unless they try to hire these individual guys? And do you think these independents, they're going to really hire and pay them anything? No. It's so disturbing because it is another attack on just the normal red-blooded American. I mean, these corporations, it's just ridiculous. And you look at some numbers, Mike, and this makes no sense to me with the rising gas prices. Because you sent me a picture, and I don't know if you want to read the numbers or you want me to, about how much these companies made in the first quarter, which you said was
Go ahead,
January,
Tammy.
February, March. So in January, February, March, these oil and gas companies made, if you look up Chevron, they made $6.3 billion with a B already, the first quarter, $6.3 billion. Then you get to Exxon. They have already made $5.5 billion. BP has made 6.2 billion with a B. They're all B's. They're not M's. They're B's. And then you go to Shell. They've made $9.1 billion the first quarter here. So you tell me, Mike, if they really care about Americans and what's happening around this country with the high gas prices, why wouldn't they give out some money to the truckers and offer truckers free gas for a week or whatever they need to do to calm it down? Because what company needs that much? 9.1 billion. The lowest amount was 5.5 billion. Who needs that in 3 months? And we're all supposed to suffer, and we have to prep, and we aren't going to have to worry about driving our vehicles just because the gas price has gone up. Where are these people helping us? Is my question. These
Well,
executives or these owners.
I've been in the oil industry. I've been out in the oil field. It is expensive to operate. But I do know that they're making money. They're definitely not losing money. They're making money. I see a lot of great comments in chat of people throwing ideas in there, things that people can do, things that they can purchase. The biscuit mix, the pancake mix, stuff that all you have to do is add a little bit of water. Um, you know, this isn't fear porn. If you think this is fear porn and a fear event, God bless you. Because all I can say is I'm not an idiot, and I see the writing on the wall, and I know for a fact that if I'm not prepped and prepared and ready for anything, that when this stuff happens, I won't be the burden. So if you don't want to listen, if you don't want to pay attention, and you think this is all just a false flag and this is just a bunch of fear porn, well, God bless you. I hope to God that if this stuff does kick off, that you've got plenty of what you need and you don't have to go to your neighbor's house or your family's house and bang on the door and beg for somebody to help you out because you didn't heed a warning. I'm not the only one saying this. There are many influencers out there in all communities putting out this exact same warning. So are we all full of crap? Are we all fear porn? Do we not see something that you obviously see? I highly doubt that. So let's talk about some of the other products that they're already mentioning that we're having issues having on the shelf. Now we had the big baby formula scare that just
Mm-hmm.
happened last month. That one wasn't so big for me because baby formula hasn't been around for eternity here. There are other options for people to feed their babies. We have for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of
Mm-hmm.
years. So the
Yeah.
baby formula wasn't such a big thing, but there are other products on the shelf that could be concerning, Tammy.
Yeah, the other thing they were talking about feminine needs, Mike, of all things. How bizarre is that? That women, every month they have a cycle, and as sensitive of a topic as it is, it's true. If you cannot get feminine need products, that's just disturbing. What random choice is that? Like how does that make any sense? Where did that come from? Is what I want to know. Why is that an issue? Is that imported from all these other places too? I
I don't
just
know.
it's to me it's an attack women, children. It was the elders, 2 years in with the sickness. Now then it was the children and the teens and the babies, and now they're going after the women. And I find it astounding that this is just random to me, and it makes no sense. Almost like it's planned for whatever bad reason they have. Because when people say, we're crazy, or I don't think it's that bad, and we've said this before, there's been around 95, I think, Mike, processing plants, animal farms, and other
Yeah.
things that have burned or been destroyed since the beginning of the year. 95, around there.
Yes, and 50 just in the last. I think Mary said 50 just since February. 50 of them have burned to the ground for one reason or another. You can believe that's real or not believe it's real. We just reported, I think it was Michigan, that lost 3 million chickens. 3 million chickens. We've lost millions and millions of chickens here in the United States. We've lost turkeys, which is another poultry. So if you don't think that this is real, you think this is just fear porn, man, I truly do feel sorry for you, because I see a lot of good comments in the chat of people throwing out ideas there for powdered milk, powdered eggs, pancake mix. There are things that you can go to your local grocery store and just stock up on. Make sure that you have plenty. Easy things that you guys can have. If you can afford, um, my parents like to buy 10 pounds of pancake mix. If you can
Hmm.
afford, I think the last time I bought that for them when I went to the valley, it was about $10 or $11 for that 10-pound bag of pancake mix. If you're at the store and you can afford to buy two, because you might be able to trade the second one. Those are the things that we're saying. Is there certain things that you can do that's not going to break the bank, that you can purchase a little bit extra, have it for your own use, or have it to where you could trade with people. What was being said today, Tammy, is a lot of those prepping items are starting to become scarce. So powdered eggs, powdered food, the Patriot supplies that you can buy in the 1 pound bucket and the 5 pound buckets. Just so you guys know, thanks for dropping that link, Tracy Q, to Economic Ninja. Those are things that are starting to get scarce, and people are buying them up as fast as they can. So I'm just giving you guys a warning. Um, get some while you can, and if you can't, then think outside the box. Use coupons. Do whatever you can to try to stock up on a few items here, because um, you know, people are predicting, Tammy. Um, I think it's going to happen sooner than later. I think by the end of July, we'll probably see something. There are other
Hmm.
people that are predicting end of summer, into fall, right before, November, right before the elections. This is just, I mean, this is all by design.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Bottom line, this is by design, because this was not the shape this country was in when Trump left office. I can guarantee without a shadow of a doubt, um, when he would have took office January for his second term, he would have pulled us right out of this whole sickness nonsense, and we would have hit the ground running, and we would have been probably back right where we left off with Trump. But no, this person was selected to come in here by design to do exactly what they're doing right now, which was shut the Keystone Pipeline down, open up the border. Here we are looking at crises, and we got a southern border that's just completely wide open.
We also have an administration, Mike, that doesn't come out and try to ease the stress that we're under or try to have any
They don't
solutions. It's
care.
basically being ignored. Exactly. So that's another reason people need to pay attention, that they think that we're just fear mongers or whatever you want to call us. Where's the administration in this then? They have no comments on it. I mean, remember for a long time, too, the other prepping thing people needed were canning jars and lids. And remember there for a long time, we weren't able to find lids. I don't know if that's gotten any better or not. And the other attack is also on pet food. It's amazing how much pet food has gone up, and the selection in the pet food has also gone away as well. And like the dog treats, you want to get your pet's treats. I went to get my dog some treats the other day when I went grocery shopping, and those are up $5 a bag. And the bag is actually a bit smaller. They've got less product in the bag. It's a smaller amount, and it went up $5 too. So of course people want to be able to feed their pets and stuff, but when it comes down to feeding your family or feeding your pets, I mean, you're not going to buy pet food. You're going to just try to share whatever extras you have of human food, and that's going to be horrible because some of these pets have special diets and they're not able to ingest human food. Usually plain chicken breasts aren't so bad, or if I have a friend who her dog eats the yams all the time, the yams and potatoes, and some of them are allergic to wheat and all that other stuff. So rice and all that's not going to be good for them. So then we're in a catch 2020 with our 2022 with our pets too. It's just disgusting. So I don't know. It's very it can be very stressful, but you're right. We just have to make plans, have shows like this, people talking, people sharing ideas, because boy, our great leaders of this country, so-called great leaders, aren't helping us out at all, are they?
No, the current administration, it's basically every man for himself, and that's why we're putting this warning out. It's every man for itself, but it doesn't have to be every man for himself. As a community, as a patriot community, everybody in chat right now, I know you guys have family, you guys have friends who are conservatives that are like-minded. We don't have to go this alone. We can do this
Mm-mm.
together. We can unite,
Absolutely.
we can help each other out. If somebody's got a garden, or you got a local farmer you can reach out to, you can trade things for beef, for chicken, for all sorts of things. And when the sickness hit, when I was in North Dakota, that's exactly what happened. A lot of the ranchers around there couldn't take their cattle to the auction anymore. So they started putting things out on Facebook, and I actually bought half a beef from a local farmer there that started selling their beef right there on Facebook, and they started selling local to all the locals there, and people started pitching in together and purchasing beefs together. There's community gardens here in my little hometown, and I'm sure in other places across the country as well. There's community gardens. This is a warning. This isn't, hey, it's all over with and we're all going to die. This is the warning where it's getting close. And more than ever, you guys need to be prepared, think outside the box, and come up with ideas and things that you guys can do to survive. But I've got another video, Tammy. I'm going to let you comment. After you're done commenting, I got another video that I want to show people. Now, this one is shocking. This one is the police officer that got shot and killed in Buffalo. And wait until you hear this story.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that, yeah, we're not in it alone. And before we get to that, I want to say that there is also attack on the finances. The stock markets have dropped around the world, Mike. The investors dropped, the government bonds and cryptocurrencies that crashed. And, the U.S. stock market fell 20% from January high. So therein we have to pay attention. And you've been saying this a long time on LWN about pay attention to where your money is. Do something with your money. Try to to maybe take some out. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but instead of watching it drop on paper, why not buy the silver? Why not, and just take some out and buy some kind of extra products, like you said, because I'm sickened by what has been lost. It took us a long time from 2008 to recover from that mess. And everybody finally started gaining and getting back or leveling off what they lost, and down again. So just that's my thing, paying attention, not just getting extra food, but where your money's going, instead of letting it just go away. Take it out, do something with it. Not all of it, but just try to be wise.
Yeah, and you're right, Tammy. I'm not a financial advisor, but it probably wouldn't be a horrible decision to pull a little bit out and do something with it, and not sit
Mm-hmm.
there and lose everything. And there's things that you can purchase with it. You can purchase silver with it. You can hold on to it, and if a crash happens, cash is king for 24, 48 hours. You might be able to pick up another vehicle for real cheap. There's all kinds of different things you can do with your money, but just sitting there and thinking that if a crash happens, nothing's going to happen to my money in the bank, I think is foolish. At least my opinion, it's foolish, because I've read articles to you guys. I put it out there on Headline Hits, where the banks have put out to all of their people that are part of the bank, which is you and me, people that have our money in the bank, that if there is a financial crash, the government is not going to bail them out. They're going to actually bail themselves out. How do they bail themselves out? They're going to take your money. So any money that you have in the bank, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I've read articles about it, that they're just going to take the money. That's just part of their game plan. So I personally do not trust banks. I don't trust them.
Mm-hmm.
I think after seeing what's happened in the last 20 years with the bank bailouts, this, that, and the other, why the hell do I got to bail a bank out? They don't bail me
Right.
out. I'm hurting right now. I could use 10 grand. I could use 20 grand. Are they stepping in saying, "Hey, Mike, we feel sorry for you. Let us bail you out"? Hell no, they're not. So why should I have to bail them out?
Right.
One, with my own money, or two, with taxpayer money, which is my money. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the banks. It's just people really need to protect themselves, protect yourselves, protect your family, protect your
Mm-hmm.
friends. That's where we're at right now here in America. Is it's not every man for himself. It's every good patriot out there who wants to join and unite and protect one another. That's where we're at, because the government don't give a damn about us.
Oh, absolutely not. And before we close this topic and we go to that video, Love Pug, she's still in here. Email me at libertywarriornation.com what you commented earlier, and I'll pass it on to Mike, and we'll figure something out. She was talking about she's interested in doing a prepping show, and she wants to help out with it.
Absolutely. Anybody out there listening right now, if you
Uh,
guys
and
if you guys want to join a prepping episode, we're putting one together. Please do what Tammy says. Reach out to her via email, and we are putting some
mm-hmm,
stuff together, because I think it's important. It's important to share
yeah,
our knowledge and our information to everybody out there. If you've never canned before, which I've done very, very little, but I'm learning how to do it. We've got a great garden this year. We're going to do a lot of canning. So there's a lot of things that my family personally, I'm not just putting this out there to you guys and pointing my
yeah,
finger saying, "Hey, you should do this, you should do that." I'm personally doing it. I started a greenhouse. We've got vegetables. We got all kinds of things in the garden that we're prepping and getting ready ourselves for. So it's not just women doing it. Men are doing it too. I see brother John Estabrooks in there saying he's a canning fool. Absolutely.
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
And Mike, it doesn't take that long, because I remember it seems like you just were buying seeds and planting it, and your plants are gorgeous, and it's amazing how fast that grew. And it also, I'm going to put it out there, it's a peace of mind. just getting your hands dirty
Yeah.
and working out there gets you away from the chaos of the world, and you feel like you got some control, and you're helping out yourself, families, and people around you that want to, maybe buy those or something. It's just it's good for the soul is to go back to that and do a little planting. And you don't even have to have greenhouses, because you can use flowering pots. You can
Yeah.
use plastic bins and drill holes in the bottom and have many little gardens. Just raise them up a little bit. If you're in
Absolutely.
the city or don't have a lot of space, at least it doesn't take that many plants to feed a family. So it wouldn't take much for people to get started and be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can there's all kinds of things you can do. You can make your own laundry soap. There's so many things you can
Yeah.
do. Mama's really happy because one of her zucchini plants or squash plants already has a flower on it. It's already transforming. It's already transforming into fruit. I've got tomato plants that already have little buds on them getting ready to bloom. So yeah, it is a little bit of security knowing that you've got a garden. And I know not everybody lives in the country. A lot of people live in the city, and they have small little patios, or they live on the second floor of of apartment complex or something like that. So in those situations, I think I would focus more on maybe purchasing extra items like bags of pancake mix or canned
Hmm.
foods or something that I could go to somebody like me who's got a garden, who's going to have plenty of extra produce, and say, "Hey, Mike, I'd like to get some tomatoes and maybe some ears of corn and blah blah blah. Would you trade me that for a 10-pound bag of pancake mix?"
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially,
Hmm.
I love pancakes, and if I need it, um, that's what the barter system is all about. And the value, because some people will say, well, how do you know what the value is going to be in trading? The value is the value of whatever I feel that your stuff that I need is to me, and what the value of what I have to trade to you is. So, we make up our own values as you go along. There's no set price. It
Hmm.
is what it is. But I am ready to share this video because it's
Okay.
pretty amazing video. Um, it's going to open your eyes to a lot of things. So pay attention to this one. Tammy, let me know if you hear the volume, please.
Okay.
The ex-cop who was killed by the Buffalo shooter on Saturday had recently spoken about a newly discovered energy source and patented a system that enables vehicles to run on water instead of gasoline. Aaron Salter Jr. was identified by his son as the supermarket security guard and former 3-decade Buffalo cop who tried to stop the teenage suspect. But it's Salter Jr.'s work away from the world of law enforcement that is attracting interest in the wake of his tragic death. His latest passion was building environmentally sustainable vehicles. Watch this.
See all of this. You got your hydrogen for your electrolysis. You got your batteries, your water. I want you to notice that you can get a shot of the showers. There's no water in okay. Tank is empty. All right, put this back on. We're gonna need water in a minute. This is a agitator. So we're gonna do 4 experiments today for the patent examiners. The first one, you do need electrolysis, but what my system has done is taken advantage of the residue that's produced by the electrolysis. So we're gonna actually start this vehicle without any electrolysis. The second one, we're going to fill the water tank with water. And again, we're going to be able to start it without electrolysis and run this engine.
Salter Jr. is not the first person to suffer an untimely death after announcing the discovery of a free energy system. Stanley Meyer came up with a similar water-powered motor before suddenly dying while dining at a Denny's with two Belgian investors. Meyer started choking during the meal, ran outside and claimed he'd just been poisoned before he died. Watch this.
The top our news here at 6 o'clock, an age-old dream becoming a reality. A local inventor has discovered a way, hear this, to use water to run your car.
It's a major breakthrough that will no doubt make motorists happy. And as Ralph Wilson explains, the Pentagon is also showing lots of interest in this project.
Water has always been considered a precious commodity, but Stan Meyer's invention may make it even more valuable. He has developed what's called a water fuel cell. It has taken the place of his old gas tank. The water fuel cell breaks down water molecules into oxygen and hydrogen. The hydrogen is used to run his dune buggy. I don't care if you use rainwater, well water, city water, ocean water. If you don't have any fresh water, go ahead and use snow. If you don't have any snow available to you, use salt water because there's no adverse effect to the fuel cell. Meyer started working on this project 4 years ago. He's not a scientist. He isn't even a chemist. In fact, he never graduated from college. Myers was determined, he says, to design something to protect this country from oil embargoes. And we have calculated that if we take the dune buggy from Los Angeles to New York, we would roughly use 22 gallons of water. The Pentagon flew a lieutenant colonel in last week to look at Meyer's invention. There's talk of possibly using it in the Star Wars defense program and to run army tanks. Myers is currently perfecting a water fuel cell for cars. It will cost about $1,500. He says it won't need any maintenance and you won't have to replace it. It will be at least 2 years before the fuel system goes into mass production. The day it happens will be one the fuel industry hates, but it'll put a smile on the face of those who've had to, at one time or another, fill her up.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the NWO is trying to really push us into a new world order and the Great Reset. How are they doing that? Well, they're using crude oil. They're skyrocketing the price by design to put fuel out of reach for normal American people to try to have transportation and work. They're trying to push us into the Green New Deal. They want everybody buying their electric cars. They really want to push us and corral us into their desires. And these guys here, I don't know if it would have if anything would have ever come of it. I think ingenuity like that and dreaming and having a dream and following your dream. Would anything have come of those vehicles that ran off of water? Well, how would we know? They both ended up dead. They both ended up dead. So you take a design like the police officer there. It was definitely rednecked. But you take that to somebody like Tesla. You take that to Elon Musk. You take that to somebody who's got the money to really put behind it. Who knows what they could have created out of that system? And don't think for 1 second, Tammy, that there's not stuff out there already like that they are not going to share with not only the American people, but people around the world. Because why? Because they want to keep us enslaved. The whole objective is to keep us in slavery.
And I was going to say, by now, if they really cared and didn't want control, something like that would have come through. because it wasn't hard. It just showed what happened. And if they can invent cars like the Tesla, they can invent something like that would be fully functional and inexpensive. So yeah, ask yourself, why after all these years did it never happen? It's disgusting. It's
Yeah,
disturbing.
and think about how cheap it would be to run a vehicle on water, and how that would affect the American people's pocketbook and people around the
Yes.
world. If all you had to do was go grab your garden hose and pump a little bit of water into your tank and drive your car to work. And there's other things. Of course, Tesla himself came out with many inventions, and a lot of people believe that there was the energy invention of free energy. I have yet to see how that works with my background. I just don't see how that would work, but doesn't mean it's impossible. I'm not an engineer, so um, obviously Tesla was a lot brighter than I am. So maybe the free energy thing is possible. Maybe he did invent that, and of course he ended up dying as well. And my point to that is this evil, this cabal, this black hat, this whatever you want to call it, our government here in America and around the world, their sole purpose is to keep all of us enslaved, to keep us all in debt, to keep us to where we have to work all these hours constantly just to survive. Could you imagine an America where you only had to work 20 or 30 hours a week, and the rest of the time you had off to enjoy your life and enjoy your family, and you lived a great life?
And you
Um,
could afford
you
it.
know,
How about you could afford to be off, Mike, and not be exhausted and look forward to just the weekend. Yeah, absolutely. So, and the thing is, some people say, why would they do that? What's the point of this? Well, because they're greedy, and it's never enough. And when you add money and power, it's an addiction, an evil addiction, and it is never enough. That's why they want a few of them to have control over everybody. And like you said, the slavery thing, it is all about greed, because they could go away, so many of them, and live a life like some of us will never see or could imagine. But you know what? Evil doesn't allow that. It's got its grip on them, and they just want more and more and more. And that's all there's to it. That's why it happens, and it won't
well,
stop unless we stop it.
I got news for them. God wins. We win. I seen a comment in there. They've messed with the wrong people, the wrong crowd. Carlene, absolutely. It's up to us. We have this time in history, folks. This is our time. We were brought here in this time
Yes.
and this place for a reason. You in chat, every one of you, me, we're here for a reason. God put us here in this time for a reason, because it is up to us to do the work, to save humanity, to save and restoration of America and the globe. And God is with us, and God is going to be there to guide us, to give us that wisdom, to keep us protected. God wins in the end.
Absolutely. And the fight is on, because Mike, so many of us were clouded. Our eyes, we didn't see clearly, or we just didn't pay attention. The big change that's happening across the board and everything evil that's going on is we're waking up to it. There's enough of us awake. There's enough of us fighting back, and enough of us that want to make that change. So it will happen, because God does win. He's already won. It just takes us to team up together, support each other, and lead that fight. And I'm proud to do that. God needs his warriors right now. I've said that before. It's not a time to be weak. It's not a time to just wear your halo all the time and just act all innocent and kind and gentle. Sometimes you need to be a little aggressive and act like a warrior of God. As long as God leads you, it's okay to be strong-willed, strong-minded, and use a little fierceful force as far as vocalization, or tell people take action instead of, maybe you want to check into that and be all shy and coy. It's time to just puff up, stand up, and say, listen, what can I do to help you step out and make a difference? Because I'm here to help you. I'll do it.
Amen. Well, here's a little bit of news. I'm gonna do a little drop here, and then we'll roll into final thoughts. Tammy, I received a text message this afternoon that the state of New Mexico is now voting on the removal of the Dominion machines out of their, I guess, out of their state. I haven't seen anything yet. Um, I haven't seen anything yet in the news cycle about it. That was sent to me privately, but I definitely want to check that out because, you know, a lot of people say,
Yeah.
well, if we don't fix 2020, there won't be a 2022 or a 2024. And I used to be one of those people that said that, but I'm telling you right now, I'm seeing it. It's happening all around us. There are a lot of people that are making a huge difference, a lot of states that are making a huge difference. So, I see it happening. I just wanted to share that with you guys tonight. New Mexico sounds like they may be voting on the removal of the Dominion machines out of New Mexico. If that state does it, I promise you there are going to be other states that are going to follow suit, and we're going to clean this mess up before 2022. Let's
Yes.
just hope that we can make it to 2022 because with the economy by design, this is all by design. It's my opinion that they're trying to do this to us to 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 ruin 2022. To be honest with you, they know that they can't win. They know that they've already lost. They know that there's going to be a massive wave from coast to coast. They can't stop it. So
Right.
by design, they're going to try the Great Reset so that they can control us all. So that's that's the little tidbit that I wanted to drop before we roll into final thought there, Tammy.
Okay, well, my final thought is I want to say happy birthday to Mr. Donald Trump. It is his birthday today. I don't know if he's 73 or 74. And
He's 40, he's 45. He should have been 46. He should have been 46 too, but guess what? He's going to be 47. So,
I just think that's a good way to end the show because it isn't about fear. It's about knowledge. Knowledge is power. And the man, God bless him, fighting the good fight for many years now. We don't even know how many years he's been actually fighting, Mike. So he's an amazing man. God bless him. And it's because of him that a lot of this movement started. He rattled the cage of every single person in this country and even the world. If you think about it, the people who love him, the people who hate him, boy, he got everybody's hair riled up on the back of his neck. And I'm like, amen to that. God love him. And that's my final thought. He's still my president.
he's still my president. I'll tell you what, he got me riled up a year ago. It was Trump and it was God that really kicked me off the couch and said, get involved. So
Yes.
that's why we're here tonight. Here's my final thought. Together we can do this, folks. This isn't fear. This is information. This is intelligent information for you guys to sleep on that, chew on that, share it out, share this video out, share it with your family, your friends. Make a plan. Make a plan to be prepared. And we do this together. We're all in this together. There's no shame in our game. We are the Patriot movement. We are the God movement. And we're going to unite and come together and help one another out. I've got a lot of people that listen to me right here in my little hometown, which is shocking. But there's so many people that I run into around town now that says, "Man, I really listen to your show. It's a great show." Guess what? When you know what hits the fan, who do you think's going to be reaching out to me, and who do you think I'm going to be reaching out to unite and help each other out to get through these hard times? You know, people in Oklahoma, they've got one another. Tammy, you're in Georgia. You got people there that you can count
Yes.
on. Everybody across the country, unite. We can do this together. Even if the economy crashes, even if fuel gets out of control where you can't afford it, heck, we'll figure it out. We'll buy a bunch of Saint Bernards and ride them around. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Yes, we're not quitters, that's for sure. There's no quitting at all. We just keep going forward and we use whatever tools we have. God will supply us. God equips us because he equips the unequipped. And as long as he's leading the charge, we don't have anything to worry about. We just have to listen. Say, what is that? The saying Denise says, thank you. Say, thank you, Lord, and amen. Is that what it is? She says.
It's
See?
yes, Lord, and amen.
You can tell who needs to say it more than the other person.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Yep.
That's
All
why
right.
it's burned into his brain.
It's burned in my brain. All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Share this out. I would really like to just share this out so people can hear the warning. Let them know that things are on the horizon, and to just keep your chin up, stand tall, because it's not over with, and we will not be defeated. So that's the whole purpose of this warning. There's no defeat in this video. It's information for you guys to just be prepared. A lot of you are prepared. You're ready to go. So just buckle in, and we'll get through this together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me tonight, Tammy. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Devotions with LW. If you haven't caught that one yet, it's a great time. Plus, we have headline hits tomorrow. We have another Podbean tomorrow. And we have my last night of the week is tomorrow as well. And then Ladies of Liberty on Thursday. Just a lot of things happening here at LW. Thank you for all the new subscribers. We got a lot of people coming from Truth Social, from Twitter. It's truly amazing to see the growth of LWN. Truly amazing.
It's a beautiful thing. So until tomorrow, I guess, God bless, right, Mike? See you later.
All right. Good night. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. Can you tell me the secret of how you can take it or leave it? How you can